Yeah. It's interesting because I've been reading books and watching documentaries and interviews for so long. Sometimes I go back and reread, but I have a different perspective now because now I know more of the background that didn't make as much sense to me before, and so I get stuck in that world, and it's fascinating. And sometimes I'll pick a family too, like, and I'll just be, I'm gonna learn about Chicago today. Make that my go-to, but not just Chicago, but when in Chicago, because I go back to Al Capone and and then Frank Nitti. Do I go ahead to like the Family Secrets era, which is cool because these guys were alive during my time. I think 2007 might have been Family Secrets, where or so many guys got busted because Frank. Um, what's your name? Begins with a C, not Colada. I'll get back to it, but anyway, he told on his dad, flipped on his own dad more wire, and that's what always happens is they flip. But so sometimes anyway, I'll stay on Chicago, like in during this area, or a certain guy, Jimmy the Weasel Fradiano. Let me rewatch his stuff, or Hollywood in the '40s. So I switch it around a lot and stuff, and I love the New York stronghold of the Italian mafia, but I think that I find West Coast stuff a little more interesting because I feel like there's not as much about it. The California mafia wasn't necessarily considered that strong. So there's a few characters like Mickey Cohen that people know about. Um, I mean, if you're not into it, then you don't know about maybe anybody else, the Milanos and um, oh no, what's Jack? Anyway, shit. Now I'm blanking on some of the Jack. Damn it, he was the guy forever from New York. Anyway, I talked to his cousin, no, his nephew. I think California. I think that I love the movie that everyone loves, the Martin Scorsese on Henry Hill. Phew. I feel my sugar dropping, and it's awesome because it makes it hard to hold thoughts when my sugar drops. But anyway, I'm gonna say West Coast. As far as which mafia family, the LA family, um, the Las Vegas family as well, but they all work together with Frank Bapinciero in San Diego, and the Las Vegas mafia. The last known mafia killing and activity was in '97. Um, so I'm sure there's still characters out here. In fact, I know because I've met some of them. But as far as organized crime having a hold on Vegas here, I doubt the Italians are even the top one. And my interest doesn't go into the Chinese mafia and the Albanians and all that. It's strictly Italian, La Costa Nostra. That's my go-to that I like to read and learn about. So everything kind of like Chicago controls like everything west of the Mississippi. So even if you're Johnny Roselli and you're extorting the unions in Hollywood here or in LA, you still got sat from Chicago. And the guys in the LA family were from Chicago, also Ohio. But that's the way it is. Chicago was in New York had the five families, so they're the strongest. But there's like 26 families all around the country, 24 to 26, depending on what you read. Exactly like the wrestling territories.
Yeah, and back in the older days, there was more mafia interactions with wrestling. I know in the Montreal territory for sure there was.
Yeah.
And Kevin Sullivan has told me some other stories that I won't get into publicly, but I'm sure you've heard some stories about the connections of the past.
Yeah, of course. So Vito Rizzuto was he came down here and did some famous killings and some business, but I think him and his family, I believe, ran Montreal for the most part, if I'm not mistaken, with um, Vito Catroni. As you can tell, cannabis has totally fucked my memory. Um, I just like
Yeah,
this.
Vic Citroni was Dino Bravo's uncle-in-law. He was
Right, so I find
Leslie
that
Citroni.
fascinating. Yeah, and he was most likely responsible for Dino Bravo's death. So yeah, something I'm interested in. My mind's like a steel trap, and facts are important. And the thing about nonfiction is it all relates to itself. You know, like everything is connected, as opposed to like the Marvel universe that has to connect within itself.